In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, Algeria. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you this morning? Who's this in the community this morning? Somebody just moved to Nazaré. Dr. Nat Schamberger III. Hey, dudes. Just relocated to Nazaré from Malibu and wanted to say hi. Actually, I'm a little high already. Well, good morning to you, Dr. Nat. Some very interesting characters joining the community this week. Talking of joining the community, we had a beautiful meetup at Silver Coast. Oh, Matty's my guest at 9. We've been having a growing old disgracefully tip of the day from Coach Turner every morning this week. The truth from the Darth Vader scales from Coach Turner. Well, we can extend upon that. And a little bit of care and maintenance for the thumbs and wrists. I struggle a bit. Stop sniggering. I struggle a little bit of that with mouse use. So here I am, 90 minutes each morning using my mouse, and I'm sure I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Boo hoo, Carl. I'm sure I'm not alone in that, and a number of you may have a mouse-related strain. The thumb and wrist exercises that Matty will be sharing with us later on today may be useful for. I'm trying to find a photo from yesterday's meetup. Matty was there, of course. Oh, here we go. I think it's here somewhere. We manage to do a live broadcast. It's on the YouTube channel. I will promote that link with you. But a lovely afternoon. 1 till 3 is the official time. I think I was there till about 6 yesterday. Thank you, Nelson, for your hospitality. Absolutely superb afternoon, and lovely to see so many faces, old and new, regulars, because we've been going for a couple of months at least now, haven't we? And we have some lovely regulars, some really good attendance from some people who come every single week, including myself. And people who are on their scouting trips, and people thinking, I don't know if I want to go to that. I might go, might not. And then they come along and they have a great time. We had a lovely long table again yesterday. And then after about 3, I think it was, T-Duck, top producer T-Duck and myself set up, mainly T-Duck actually, set up a wonderful outside broadcast studio on one of the cafe tables. Good on you, Nelson, for indulging us. Can we do a radio show from your cafe, from one of your tables out there? Yeah, go on, knock yourselves out, do it. So he's very, very affable, very easygoing, and we enjoy his hospitality. So thank you, Nelson. And I've got a photo I can show you of us broadcasting from the world famous deck at Cafe Palmera. Here it is now, just uploading it. And do you remember that funny picture? There's a phenomenon occurring. Somebody spotted this. I think it was Karen spotted this. You know this lovely Portuguese property photo that we share? Unexpected item on the balcony there. Can you see there's a body on the balcony? That's a hoot. We love seeing that that picture. But we've been hoist on our own petard here, possibly. Here's us yesterday with our on-air. The on-air sign's great, isn't it? All of this powered by a battery pack, which can take a solar panel. So we've got an off-grid solar-powered radio station now. But if you look underneath the on-air sign, another body, a literally laid-back person of Portugal, lying on, is that a bottle of beer near them? But only the legs. Nothing untoward happened, I can assure you. And we didn't really notice that. That is the great Guruvo, as you know him from yesterday's show, was sniffing his bay leaves. And he was there talking about the pitfalls of over purchasing here in Portugal. Moved to Portugal Thursday, incidentally, today. And it was some great advice from Garvo yesterday on the impromptu show, where he was talking about, you might be tempted to buy that place in central Portugal where you've got 27 bedrooms for €40,000. Needs a lick of paint and a bit of TLC, and it's got 12 football pitches of land, so you can grow all your own food. But you might be taking a bit too much on. Be careful. Do a reality check. And also a special mention yesterday afternoon, chatting with Garvo about how the person you've been living with, possibly, if you're in a couple and you've been living a busy life, the one you want to retire from and come to Portugal, and you spend maybe a few hours a day with each other because you're working so hard towards retirement. And then suddenly in Portugal, you spend 36 hours a day with each other. And, all it takes, as I was saying with Garvo yesterday, is to leave the toilet seat up, and that can be or something like that, the straw that breaks the camel's back. And the famine to the feast situation of the relationship can rear its ugly head. But he also said, and I quite agree with him, that it can be a great time to really dig deep into your relationship as well. We're spending more time together, and you can create some joint goals and really enjoy those together. So some excellent advice and wisdom from the Garvo. You can see he's out there, the Brum Guru, who popped over yesterday, and hope you had a great time in Caldish as well, Gary and Linda. And thank you to everybody. Thanks everybody who came to the wonderful meetup on the Silver Coast yesterday. Portimao meetup, of course, next Thursday, 16th of June, and I see people adding themselves to that group too. Let me find the link so that you can join that for yourself as well. We have the first Portimao meetup next week then, and I will find the link for you to join that too, should you want to. Just incidentally, joining these groups, for example, we've over 100, I think 105 people who have registered for the, just signed up for the WhatsApp group for the Silver Coast meeting. It's not that many people come every week. No, far from it. Well, actually, it's a pretty good hit rate, given that 20 or 30 people come from those 105. But people like to keep an eye on what's going on from around the rest of the world, and hear about us meeting up. And then when they come on the scouting trip, or when they live here in the future, they'll know where to come and who to see here. So it's worth signing up, even if you don't want to come straight away. And that is the link to do that. That's the WhatsApp group for the Portimao meetup. Thank you so much, Jack Polly, for doing that. Morning, James. And let's see who else is here apart from James the Slug this morning. Banana Slug is in, of course. We'll hear from him again on Monday. A resident now. Chris is in too. Capricorn 12. Hola, bon dia todos. Faixa do dia. Narada, Michael Waldens. Should have loved you. I should have loved you. Is anyone from our community? Did anyone see Shalimar the other weekend? How was it? 1980s Has Funk classic. Is that jazz funk for has-beens? The dance floor filler. Radio stations. JFM, LWR, filled the airwaves with this track. Those were great days of the pirate radio in London and the UK. Superb. Thank you, Chris, for that great memory, great tune. And look at this. The keen-eyed will have noticed I've got a microphone cover. Thank you, top producer T-Duck, for making things work a whole lot better around here. Amazing. He's here too, as is Tony. Tony's in California, early in the morning, late in the night. Thanks, Tony. Really appreciate it. Maybe see you on the webinar tonight. Oh, have I uploaded the webinar slide for tonight? I have. Very good, Carl. Ahead of yourself. What were these other images as well? Oh, that was the flies from yesterday, wasn't it? And what was that? Oh, what happens to... Oh, you got a great question from yesterday at the meetup, actually. What happens to single old people? I think we dealt with that pretty well with Dougie yesterday. And Princess Dublin, of course, we featured. There she is. Any other pickies? I didn't send this, did I? Look at what Mrs. M's done in our garden. Isn't that fantastic? That's an old trampoline. Got burnt up and frazzled in the sunshine. Jimmy Choo started eating it as well. So we got rid of the bouncy bit and the netting. And we just used the frame to make a pergola sort of thing, and a place to sit in the garden, and all that lovely food that Mrs. M is growing. I've been meaning to show you that. But this is what I'm reaching for my pictures for. Tonight, 7:30, is your dream home in Cascais. This evening with Wiley and Partners from 7:30, chatting about buying and renting in Cascais tonight, if that's you. And the areas close by, Estoril, for example. Portugal calling webinar tonight. Sign up for that. Oh, I should give you the link to do that, shouldn't I? I'll find that for you, don't worry, before long. We'll also have a look at the events guide. A great suggestion from Andy. that we on a Thursday or a Friday. Oh, Philomena Friday tomorrow, Portugal Day, national holiday. Just a quick alert in case you are thinking of going to Finanças, your Centro de Saúde and your bank tomorrow. Maybe the bank is open in the morning, I don't know. But the government offices will be shut for Portugal Day, where we celebrate the great Fernando Pessoa, among many other things, a patriotic day for Portugal tomorrow, Portugal Day. So, but don't expect to be doing anything of any bureaucratic importance tomorrow. Okay. Yes, so we're looking forward to Philomena's company. And yes, so today we'll also scroll through the events, most of which have been posted by Andy. Thank you so much, Andy. You're doing a great job with that. But tonight, yes, is your dream home in Cascais? If it is, tune in from 7:30 and book yourself in. Where is the link to that? Oh, yeah, I can do that for you right now. Let me pop that into the chat as well if you want to sign up. And of course, from 9 tonight, the Premium Plus posse, you're in the house. Our weekly meetup. Of course, just to reiterate, with Expats Portugal, there are 3 levels of membership for our vast community of over 10,000. You can join with the basic membership free of charge, whereupon you can be signed up and receive mailings from us of importance. Oh, Microsoft, what are you doing throwing things up onto my screen? Thank you. Yeah, you will be, if you join up free of charge as a basic Expats Portugal member, you will receive mailings, which, of course, if you're moving to Portugal or you're living in Portugal, they will be of interest to you and will help you with various aspects of moving to and enjoying life in Portugal. Next level up is the premium membership, where you'll unlock lots of discounts and benefits and perks with the people that we've hand selected and enjoy working with, and get great testimonials with our associates, and you'll unlock a whole load of discounts on the premium level of membership. And Premium Plus, reason I mention all of this is tonight at 9 o'clock, we have a troubleshooting Q&A social where the people who have the highest level of care and attention from us, because they're ready to move to Portugal and they want to turbocharge their plans, they have joined the Premium Plus level of membership, and we meet up once a week. And not only do they get content every week and exclusive content, an exclusive part of the forum, because there's so much information. And part of what we do with the Premium Plus approach is to really narrow it down and condense it and just give you the basics to start from. And from there, the complexity begins, and we help you through that complexity on a very personal basis. And all of those membership levels you can find, of course, on our homepage, expatsportugal.com. And what was I was sharing with you something else there, but that's gone now for the time being. If it was important, I'll remember it, of course. But I think that pretty much tells you what's happening today and for the rest of the week. Philomena Friday, of course, tomorrow on Portugal Day. Got a lovely little video to show you. It is moving to Portugal Thursday, and what better than to show you? I've got a couple of videos from Andy Klein, who's with our Premium Plus group. He's also been making fantastic videos. Our expat journey. He is a media professor from the United States. Recently here, I think maybe on his way back to the United States now. But here's what he found out so far. Here's an introduction to the film series that Andy has been making. And I've got 2 for you. One now, one a bit later on. And Matty at 9 o'clock, of course, with a little bit of help with the thumbs and the wrists. And also want to talk today about Portuguese artists. She gets claimed by the Brits and the Portuguese. Portuguese artist Dame Paula Rego has died, aged 87, and quite a character too. So I'll tell you a little bit about her, courtesy of the Portugal resident. But for the time being, and after this, I'll come back to your comments and greetings in the chat and a bit of Portuguese history, I hope, from, is it Dr. Nat Schamberger III? We'll come back to you all after this.
Nice day to walk.
Very nice, yes.
Better than yesterday.
Yes.
What to walk?
We didn't walk yesterday.
Yeah.
Too hot.
But today you have to be careful because it's too late.
Right.
Rain.
Hello, and welcome to the introduction to my documentary web series called Our Expat Journey to Portugal. My name is Andy Klein. I'm a documentary filmmaker and a professor in the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film at Missouri State University. I intend to do the same thing with this documentary series that I do with all of the films I've produced. Inform and entertain by telling what I hope will be an interesting story. And I hope showing some interesting pictures. What you're watching now, stock footage, and some things from a vacation that I took in 2017. The story begins with two American baby boomers who want to spend at least some portion of retirement in another country and within another culture. When I say retirement, I mean my retirement. My wife is a remote worker, a freelance writer, and she intends to keep working because she's committed to her career. And while, yes, I'll be retired from my job as a professor, I intend to keep making documentary films and other types of nonfiction video. The term expatriate identifies all kinds of people who immigrate for all kinds of reasons, although the term is commonly used to identify people with the money and privilege to move for lifestyle reasons. So there are some questions to deal with when one chooses to make a home in a new country because they feel like it. Along with our journey, I'll be dealing with some of these questions. I intend to inform you by taking you on our journey during the months that we prepare to move and the first months of our arrival. You'll be there for all the wins and fails. I intend to entertain you by doing a good job of documentary filmmaking. I'm a huge fan and follower of a few YouTubers who specialize in providing information for expats, especially in Portugal. I've learned much from these content producers already. There's no way, however, that I'm going to try to move in on their turf. Instead, I'm playing to my strength, cinematic nonfiction storytelling. It will likely be a story told by twists and turns, a series of video essays foregrounding those wins and fails I mentioned. It will also be a story told through fairly standard documentary techniques. My goal is for you to watch this story unfold as naturally as possible. Following this will be our scouting trip, probably in 2 videos covering our search for interesting neighborhoods in Coimbra and the Porto metropolitan area. We're leaving in just a few days. From there, episodes will tell the story of our journey. Actually, journeys might be a better way to say it. I'll have my journey, my wife will have hers. There will be mental journeys and emotional journeys and physical journeys, and let's not forget social media journeys. Lots of journeys. Please like and subscribe. Also, check the descriptions of each episode for relevant links and other stuff best put into writing. And thank you for the view.
Isn't that lovely, Andy Klein? Thank you so much for giving me permission to share those. And we have another in the series, part 2. There are 3 currently online. Actually, I can give you the link to subscribe to so that you can do that right away. But great work, Andy Klein. Of course, he's a media prof. Lovely little movies that he's been making there. A demonstration of his know-how and ability and his academic brilliance there. Let me just... get a click on that. Oh, things have slowed up a little bit here. It's a shame.
And welcome to the introduction to my documentary web series.
There he is again, and I'm just trying to find the right link for you to subscribe to. Brilliant. So yeah, another one to come. Thank you for all the positive feedback. I hope Andy gets to see that actually. So putting the subscription link in now. YouTube/A Klein basically, but that's in there for you now. And yes, some lovely comments coming in while that was on. Okay, let's go to Thunderduck now. And Bon dia Alegria. Oh, there's this as well, isn't there?
Bon dia. Alegria. Alegria. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Boris Johnson who's done a jingle for us?
Bon dia. Alegria. Alegria.
Bon dia, Alegria, Gumpers. It was great to see so many of you yesterday. The meetup was a lot of fun in all sorts of ways, right, T-Duck? We have errands to run this morning and we'll miss the show. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you very much. And your Portuguese sayings, though, not here to enjoy them yourself, but thank you for these contributions. Comer muito queijo. Eating too much cheese, apparently, makes you forgetful. You've been eating too much cheese. Aren't these great? And sardinhas enlatadas. Like sardines, of course, in a tin, in a can. Canned sardines, they will be your sardinhas enlatadas, feeling suffocated in crowded transport. be fair, doesn't happen too often here, not to me anymore in Portugal. I have had that, yeah, when I was a commuter in Lisbon for a little while. But I really enjoyed that, going over the 25 de Abril bridge. It was amazing. I just want to scream and shout at my fellow passengers, look, we're going over the River Tejo, everybody. And they're all looking into their phones. De pequenino. Yeah, everything becomes normal in the end, doesn't it? Come on, let me try this one more time. De pequenino se torce a pepino. When little, twist the pickle. What? Who doesn't like to twist the pickle first thing in the morning? When little, twist the pickle. It actually means it's better to be taught something from a young age. Yes, it's like the Jesuits, and it give me the boy, and I'll show you the man. Wow. So okay, twisting your pickle means something different in Portugal. Clearly. Ciao ciao. Smash that like button. Cheers, T Duck. I hope he sees that on the rebound, not on the rebound, on the replay. Look at this. Back pain is debilitating, but we're not going to read this yet. We're going to bring on the Darth Vader scales, and there will be a full scale jingle for this. But for the time being, a Vingle jingle, gentle fitness tips and ideas from the Coach Turner. A tip of the day from Darth Vader's scales of just is. The hips don't lie and the scales don't lie, do they? Unless they're not correctly set up in the first place. And your tip for the day today, where's it gone? Oh, a tip for the day today. Back pain is debilitating. Probably everybody here has had that at some point, and I know Moaz, that's a problem for you, a challenge, isn't it? Working on core strength can help prevent back injuries. Pilates provides some great core exercises that are gentle and effective. So a recommendation for Pilates there. Go steady, Moaz. I saw you were getting the wind in your sails watching that video. Bom dia, Gumpers, from James. Feliz quinta todos. Tudo bem? Yeah, muito bem. Obrigado, contigo. Carl, today's quote is somewhat phrasing dependent. Follow the punctuation. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Let's see how this goes, shall we? Will Rogers quote of the day. Everybody's ignorant, just on different subjects. Yeah, that's true. That's very generous and something we should bear in mind, right? Some people are really knowledgeable and they let you know it on other subjects, right? You know how I feel about people who've got the answer to everything, don't you? Unless it's me. Bon dia, Carl y amigos. This morning, Kate, great to see you yesterday. I hope you enjoyed yourself at the meetup. And Victoria, who will be at the Portimao meetup. Hola, bon dia, kids. Looking like a gorgeous beach day ahead. Sounds great, Victoria. Matty is waiting in the green room. Be with us in a few minutes. Hola, bon dia, alegría. Todos de Pombal nublado. Cloudy. Yeah, on the Silver Coast here was a miserly old morning. Came back with a somewhat... Well, I don't iron things. You might have noticed. A lot of you will have noticed, I suspect, that I sit here in crumpled shirts. Quite good to be go out on a miserly morning with the dogs. It gives us the shirt a virtual ironing, and some of those creases drop out. Nunu's here. Good morning, all. Maybe you don't know, but today is like Friday. Tomorrow we'll be celebrating Dia de Portugal. I hadn't seen it quite like that, but yes. Hey, yes, excellent. Dia de Portugal de Camões. I said Pessoa, didn't I? Camões, of course. Oh dear, what a blunder that is. Let's pretend that didn't happen, unless someone mentions it. Dia de Portugal de Camões e das Comunidades Portuguesas. So a Portugal Day around the world, of course. I imagine the Portuguese diaspora will be celebrating tomorrow. So happy Friday for today to all you Portuguese people who are seeing this as the end of the week already. Stephen's in, and hey dudes, how you doing, Stephen? Just relocated from, we read this one before, but Dr. Nat Schamberger III, you look like a guy to hang out with, a bit of the Big Lebowski vibe going on there. Darren's in, and yes, morning Magnus. Morning, Gumpers. 7 degrees here in Alberta this morning with rain. You have my condolences. Oh dear. Morning, Darren. I think the prof may have snuck in with yet another persona, but we're never actually sure. We've got to be a little bit careful because somebody new might join the community and we might start laughing and mocking them, thinking it's the prof, because we know how familiarity breeds contempt, don't we? And actually, it's a brand new person who we greatly offend, believing it to be the prof. And I think he knows that. We enjoyed Colin the Cabbie yesterday. Love to the family. And this morning we'll see. No offense to you then, Nat Schamberger, if you are not the prof this morning. Cindy B's in as well. Hello, Cindy. And missed you yesterday. And good morning, everyone from Gemini. How's that work going? Gemini. I hope it's not getting in the way too much. Dr. Nat Schamberg, if you like Malibu, Eddie said it might be a great fit for you, dude. I'm setting up, says Nat, the doctor, my own business here as a surfing instructor, intimacy counselor, and podiatrist. It's called Surf, Sex, and Feet. What do you think? You had me at surf, I guess. Dr. Nat, let's see how this unfolds this morning. I'm getting slightly creepy vibes now, I have to say. Moaz, bon dia, kale a todos. Hope it is, Prof. The best part of my day is the Good Morning Show. Oh, bless you, Moaz. And I think you've especially liked it so far this morning, right? Hola, la, la, from la, 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 from Owen there, the host of the barbecue. Amazing Austin brothers will be there at Leria as well. Feel free to pop the link in, Owen, or send it to me and I'll pop it into the chat. Great to see you yesterday as well. And thank you for your contributions. Our roving reporter around the bay with the mobile looking at San Martino's seafront. Thank you, mate, for being there yesterday and all that you did. Bon dia, Gambas from Baddie. Have a nice day. I have to run and miss the show this morning. What? But isn't it lovely how people, who, even though they can't be here, they're being here briefly. Hi, Owen from Victoria. And what's this? Dr. Nat loses a little something in the alliteration. Yes, you might need some help from our erotic novelist scribe, James there. But I think you two might have a lot in common, actually. Quite both touchy-feely guys, right? I love a bit of wax on, wax off. I think the banana slug is slowly distancing himself and would like to see your professional credentials, perhaps, before he creates a professional alliance with you, like my buddy Ralph Macchio. Isn't that kind of coffee? Very good for the wrists. Okay, well, there we'll have some more wrist health a little bit later on in a few minutes' time. Hi, the like button. Talk to Dr. Nat about that and have fun in the sun this morning. Cheers, Chris. Really appreciate it. Carl, come down to Algarve and broadcast. That is going to happen one day. That will happen. It will. Is that person? Hello. Yes, please. Black coffee, please, this morning. Café preto, faz favor. Mrs. M's just stuck her head and is waving. It's the hand of the hand. We're doing wrist health in a bit, in case you need it. Yeah.
Ooh, I might do.
Okay. Is that person the real estate model? What is this? It's puppetry of the partner live on the. Look, you're looking very sporty this morning. Sporty Spice. Oh, here we go. Hold on a minute. Very good performance. Are you funded by the Arts Council by any chance? If you dress up in green, you can do all sorts of wonderful things behind me.
Okay, hang on.
No. Just. Oh dear, what's going to happen now? Is that person the real estate model? It might be, mightn't it? They might lend themselves out professionally for photo shoots. Is it the same person? I don't think so. I think that might be a lady there lying on the grass, and it's a gentleman in the other picture. But it could be. They might come from a team of real estate models who just they'll lie wherever you want them to in the picture. I'm a bit worried now. Gary and Linda are just the loveliest, kindest couple you could hope to meet. Absolutely right. Watch out behind me. You might not be able to keep your. It's not working. That is rubbish. This is looking a bit like 70s children's TV now. I'm frightened. Maybe back to the drawing board. Maybe go back to the radiophonic workshop. What are you doing? You're pressing my jingle pad now. You can't just be pressing, coming in. No, that is not the button. I think for you, the one you were looking for, if you want to press it yourself, hold on a minute, is this one. Try press. That's for your efforts this morning. Yes, God, the price you have to pay just for a coffee around here. Oh dear, Jack Polly's been just treading on the cycle path again. Bon dia, told off again by the police yesterday. I had 1 foot on the cycle path. Is that? I'm not sure if I do want to come to the Portimao meetup if we're going to get that level of harassment. My goodness, be careful, everybody down there. Bon dia, Gria, lovely piglet and ostrich burgers yesterday. Oh my yikes! I hope you're all having a fabulous week. Well, they're not anymore, are they, Pete? Dig a deep, dig a deep, dig a deep, deep, deep. What is that? Is that an advertising campaign from the United States? And bon dia, Carl, up from 6 a.m. making homemade seaweed fertilizer for plants. Again, like Dougie yesterday, strimming his patio was not a euphemism. And I imagine making homemade seaweed fertilizer for plants is not a euphemism either. Genuinely making the stuff. And can we have a before and after picture of your plums, maybe? Regular and then massively swollen because of the seaweed fertilizer treat that you've been giving them, Deagle. It is 9:01. You mustn't keep a German waiting, must you? So here he is on the screen. Morning, Matty. Unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I had a little bit of a rough night, but that's my own fault. I had some leftovers from Sunday, and maybe they were too far gone. I don't know.
You never really know until you eat them, do you? That's the problem with leftovers.
Yeah, well, actually, the next morning, you know.
Yeah, well, yes. I guess you found out the hard way. So, what was your rumbling guts keeping you awake overnight, or were you just a bit uncomfortable?
Yeah, I only had like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So.
And we have observed that you do like your food, don't you? You have an incredible metabolism, I've noticed, at our meetups. You do like your
food. Like my friend Joel would say, eh.
So what? Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I mentioned it. Now it moved to Portugal Thursday, Matty. How many times have you moved to Portugal now?
Well, I'm still busy with my first one. I traveled to Portugal now twice with my moving equipment, Tesla trailer combination.
Yeah.
I have to go at least one more time to pick up my other car.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I have probably go one more time to get the rest of my stuff.
Okay.
Or I have to decide to throw it away. But yeah, I don't think that will happen.
I've got that as by the end of it, you'll have moved to Portugal about 3 times, but it's a bit easier for you. If you're American, it'd be a different matter. Yeah. But you were of course based in Amsterdam, and you're driving south, north, south, aren't you, and bringing your stuff slowly. And at some point, you will draw a line.
Well, yeah, I travel from Amsterdam, from the Netherlands to Belgium to France, Spain, and then finally Portugal. So. Yeah, it's
a nice drive. Is that a nice drive to make, even though you're towing your possessions behind you? Is it a nice drive? Apart from motorcyclists crashing into you, of course.
Yeah, that would be a downside, or was a downside. No, the drive is quite relaxing if you have the right mindset. Because when I drive, it's like a morning, Owen. When I drive with a trailer behind, I'm only driving like 80, 85 kilometers per hour. If I'm lucky, I can snuck behind a lorry or a truck to have less wind resistance, which has an effect on the range I can go. So or the battery state. So it's not like I used to go as fast as I can, as quickly as I can, and spending less time in the car. It's more like, yeah, I'm in the car, and well, the car drives mostly itself, and I do listen to music. I have a Portuguese radio station on the radio, so I hear Portuguese basically all the way. Don't understand a thing yet, but that's for later.
It's sinking in. Don't worry yet.
Yeah, and with the towing the trailer with the Tesla, I stop every 2 hours for an hour and a half to recharge, walk the dogs, get some food, use bathrooms, whatever, and then I continue. So it's not a race; it's more a marathon.
Indeed. And your advice for our American listeners, of course, driving here can be filled with some anxiety. The idea of driving in Europe. What would your advice to them? You're driving through 4 countries there. What would your advice be to them? Top tips about driving in Europe.
Well, take it slow and be patient. Have a good look around you. Know what's going on in front of you. Know what's going on behind you. Know what's going on left or right of you. And have your 360 radar on.
Yeah, and when you get to a roundabout, just take it extra careful because you're not used to using those devices on the road, and nor are Portuguese people. It has to be said. I mean, everyone has their own way. It seems driving around a roundabout here. So just take it nice and steady. And the great thing about a roundabout is if you miss your exit, you can go around again. That's the beauty of it.
In Portugal, you wanna when you get to a roundabout, you turn right and then left around and not the other way.
Yes, good advice. Thank you. That's the first and foremost consideration. Absolutely right. I don't know why I missed that. Yes, go ahead. Head round, bear to the right on your roundabout. Otherwise, you will make some new Portuguese friends in not a very good way on the roundabout.
It will be quite a sight to see, and
maybe
stressful for yourself.
A little bit stressful too. Okay, so bear right on roundabouts, folks, and keep going around until you've got nice and steady. You don't have to. One of the. I mean, very occasionally in driving, you do put your foot down to get out of trouble. But the best advice is probably to slow down rather than speed up. Generally in Portugal, if you're in a difficult situation.
Well, yeah, that's what I do. I mean, with a Tesla, I have enough acceleration at hand if I want to.
I've been in one. It's like, okay.
Well, yes. It's nice if you're in a situation where you just could use that little bit more acceleration to get out of a awkward situation, like overtaking a lorry, and then suddenly you see upcoming traffic, so you have the choice: brake or accelerate. And in a Tesla, you usually have the accelerate option more.
Being decisive is useful as well, isn't it, on the roads? Oh, Jimmy Chew's just let himself into the studio as well. Yes, so you're that's something you mentioned there in en passant in the conversation. You have 2 dogs. How have the dogs coped with being becoming expat pets?
Well, they are happy as long they're around me.
Yeah,
I mean, well, I can show you one.
And we can get a look. Oh yes, that's right. Happy to be with the boss there. Very nice. Yeah. And you're on your back patio there. This is the garden of your new home in Pombal. What? Not many people we speak to. I mean, I'm a great fan of Pombal, a lovely part of central Portugal, one of the great central Portugal cities. What attracted you to that area?
Mostly the house I'm in is owned by a good friend of mine, and he said, "You want to rent it?" I said, "Yes, please."
There you go.
And so that was one worry of my list, finding a place to stay, to make my base in Portugal for my upcoming exploration of properties I'm probably going to buy, at least one.
Yeah, at least one. Listen to you. Okay. And Pombal is a great base, of course, because of its central location. What else have you got around there, Matty? Have you managed to do much touring within Portugal or investigating of the area or even the country?
Well, I've first time I was here at New Year's in January. I managed to go to the Castelo Branco district and visit a couple of YouTubers there, like Luke and Sarah, and Cindy Vine. I was at Cindy's place as well. I met Pete in person. I was at Pete's place. Well, I did that in my own car to follow him. I was at Farmer for Fun in the Fundão region.
Joseph. Yeah, what a lovely man.
Joseph. Yeah. This time I met Joel in Porto. I have been to twice, I believe, on the meetup. I think I will go to Lisbon before I have my next trip in beginning of July. Yeah. And meet Lee. Or Lee might come to the barbecue on Sunday.
Oh, yes, barbecue on Sunday, a few other folks meeting up. So it would appear that you're quite happy here in Portugal. I mean, I don't often ask or hear that people are unhappy. I'm taking for granted that you're loving it. Sounds like you're having a great time.
Well, it's not only Portugal. It's also my work situation has slightly changed.
Right.
In the Netherlands, I was just employed by a company for my services, like employee. And when I told them that I'm going to leave the Netherlands and I'm going to move to Portugal, and I told them you have a choice. You can have me on a contract as self-employed on an hourly basis, or you just have to say goodbye. And it took it took about half a year, and I got now a contract on a couple hours a week, because I didn't want to work 40 hours a week in the IT world that I've been the last 20 years. So I only work like 5 or 6 hours a week, and the rest I do stuff that I really like. Maybe not all of that. Unboxing my stuff is not something I really like, but it has to be done to get settled. And I want to do more with the whole pain therapy thing. I've been busy for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
So
okay. An adventure by the sound of it. Morning, Matty from Owen, and we've got some comments about the driving situation before we go on to a bit of pain relief, and pain management. Physical therapy is your new thing, but let's talk about that in a moment. And I know you've got some tips for thumbs and wrists this morning. Driving from the US would be dangerous. Okay, is that what I said?
Well, there's one car that can do it. It's from one of the James Bond, that white Lotus.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think he's got the range. Enjoy the sections around Belgium. I don't know if that's a question or a statement. Belgium, not known to be the most exciting place on the planet, of course.
Well, I think Pete is talking about my accident.
Oh, okay. He's got a strange sense of humor, that man. Sarah, Bondier Gumpers, the whole family, son Matt, husband Steve, and me got our 8. Oh, well done. 8. There's Matty talking about listening to Portuguese radio, not understanding a word. Sounds like you got a pretty good grasp of the language, Sarah. Leading the way, setting the bar high for the rest of us. We're not done learning Portuguese, but we're really happy. Well, that's fantastic. Well done to all of you.
I found my other dog. I thought he was in the garden, but he isn't. You can see him?
He's in a crate. Is that a Tesla dog crate? Has that got a TV?
No. That's a crate I bought years ago when my plan was still to move to Curacao.
Oh,
and
okay.
I never got rid of it. And they like it from time to time.
Dogs do seem to like cats sometimes. Like to get inside a box. Dogs do like a little bit of a familiar and tight space, don't they? Who doesn't like a familiar tight space in the morning? My experience driving in Europe is easy and enjoyable, and with considerate drivers. So there you go, some feedback from Victoria as well. And I'm not saying I drive slow, but I was passed by a cement truck a few weeks ago. Nice and slow and steady wins the race.
Well, cement truck, they speed sometimes. I would be worried if she said I drove and was passed by a cyclist.
Well, that may come. What is it with all the backlighting? I can't see the lovely faces, and the background is glaring. It's some Portuguese sunlight. Stop complaining, James. Is this the new artistic approach to interviewing? No, but we know what we've got.
I don't have a green screen, so I thought I used my green garden as a background.
Exactly. Enjoy the trees, James. You're a slug. It's almost pornography for you. Portugal, so they would be level 2 chargers. Oh, Jess was asking about charging. Matty, are there enough superchargers in Europe? There's never going to be enough superchargers, are there? Thank you.
Well, to be honest, there are no shortages in the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. Spain can be troublesome if you're pulling a trailer, because I just can make it from supercharger to supercharger. Hey, Miss Green M.
I can't work under these conditions. This is out. I'm getting a fist. Matty,
Carl,
continue.
Carl, you're lucky you have your headphones on, otherwise you might got a wet willy.
A wet willy? What is it? Oh, please. I mean, I could be talking to the Portuguese president here, and this would be so terrible. But I'm talking to someone even more important, Matty, this morning. She's enjoying that too much, isn't she? These are very difficult conditions, but thank you for the coffee. What? I love it, really, don't I? That's what all bullies say. Carry on, Matty. So sorry. Are there enough superchargers in Europe?
Yes, basically they are. I mean, I can only talk about the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Spain, and Portugal.
Yeah.
In Spain and Portugal, it's a little bit thinner regarding the superchargers, but there are other providers like Ionity and EDP has some chargers in Spain. So there are charging options. Not all of them are superchargers.
Why is it that there are so many Tesla owners in our community, Matty?
Well, because we have smart people around.
Okay, there you go. Bon dia from Lismore. That is a classic Matty answer. It really is. Okay, any others? As usual, whenever the Tesla is mentioned and our community are involved, it turns into a Tesla Q&A as well. We talk more about Tesla and less about crypto these days. It used to be all about the crypto. And Lee McGrady's here as well. He got food poisoning. Lol. So funny. Lol. Made my day. Yes, a friend of yours. I wonder.
I wouldn't say food poisoning. It's more that I should have eaten it yesterday, the day before yesterday, and not yesterday. But yeah,
made my day. There's a German word for that, isn't there? Schadenfreude, I think.
Yes. Schadenfreude.
3, 2, 1, and every single charger in the country. It's an awesome system. So there's a happy customer there. Lee McGrady, what's this about oregano and something and smothering each other in arroz dos? I don't know what they're talking about now. Is that great for these must all be friends of yours? I use the term loosely. Is that great?
It's men cavers.
It's man cavers. What else did we expect? It's the thing from the thing brought me coffee this morning from the Adams family. Brilliant. Okay, Matty, your job, and I loved how you put that ultimatum to your employers. You can have me online, or I'm just going to go. And I suppose with a proposition like that, they can make a clean and quick decision, can't they? No messing about.
Well, it took them 6 months anyway.
Did it really, to answer a simple question like that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, but they obviously love you and remain attached to you, I think, right?
They like my quality of service, I would like to say.
They don't like you, they just like your work. Okay, fair enough. And we know that your martial arts journey took you into a certain kind of pain management, which is large. Well, it is 100% drug-free, isn't it? It's physical therapy for aches and pains, and also maintenance, not just for the solution, not just for pain relief, but for keeping supple.
Well, the thing is in our society and in the Western world, let's say, we have a certain way of living, moving or using our body, or maybe not using it the right way, and that's the link to the German organization website in English.
Yeah,
we can read through that. And what we do is we train our body in the wrong way, and muscles around joints get in the wrong symmetry. So one is shorter than the other, and that results in a force in your joint that actually damages your cartilage or your joint. And the body measures that, and to avoid damage or to prevent further damage, you get a pain to stop the movement. A classic example is you're in your garden, you're tending the weeds, so you bend over position, working, and the landline phone rings. So you go quickly up, and then you have a pain in your back, and that's nothing wrong with your back. It's that your front side of the body is in a short position for a long time, and the muscles need time to get to the length so that you can stand up.
Yeah.
And to stop that movement of standing up, you get a pain in your back to stop with that. And if you're in luck, then after 5 or 10 minutes, you can stand straight again, and the pain is gone because the front is now at length, and you can move around. So that's what we do in our modern world. A lot of computer work, sitting on a desk, working our phones with a thumb all the time.
Yeah.
And what that means is that there's a residue tension that sticks to the muscles and make them shorter, shorter, and shorter. It's exactly the same effect that bodybuilders use to get bigger muscles because they get short and big.
Yes, true. Yes.
And what we do with the Liebscher-Bracht pain therapy is to use first when you come to a treatment to me, or if I visit you for a treatment, then the first thing I do is listen. What is your problem? Where's your pain? Can you point it with a finger where your pain sits? And based on that, I have a couple of points that I use pressure for to stimulate safety system of the muscles, and that in effect makes the muscle longer, so the tension gets a little bit released. And because the muscle then is in a longer state, the body measures that and knows, oh, the issue that caused me to project the pain is no longer existent. So the pain is immediately reduced, and that again is a sign for me, oh, it's that muscle, so we need an exercise for that muscle, and you need to do it twice a day until your pain is gone, because the pressure thing is just a temporary thing. It can last 30 minutes or 3 years or anything in between. Depends how long you have it and what's the state of your body with food and the status of your fascia and a lot of that stuff. And basically with the exercises, you then pay back to your body so that he can get in a balanced state, in a symmetric way around that joint or wherever you have the pain. And by that, doing that exercises, you're in control of your pain, because in the beginning, because you are in pain, you do the exercise probably quite frequently, like twice a day or at least once a day. And the moment that you don't feel the pain anymore, you don't feel the need to do the exercises. So you start to do it every other day, once a week, once a month. And after 2 or 3 months, the pain comes back and go like, oh, wait, yeah, that was something I had to do.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, Matty? You know, this does require work and consistency and routine. And that's why people prefer drugs, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, we talked about a Tesla, right? And people drive nice cars. And what I like to say is, imagine you drive on the highway with 100 kilometers per hour, so quite slowly. And on your dashboard, the engine light comes on. And let's say the engine light is your body telling you that something wrong with pain. And most people have nice cars and want to keep them nice. So what they do, they look for the next parking lot or put it on the emergency lane and call help, right? Yeah. Road assistance or the dealer or whatever. In my opinion, the painkillers would be in that situation, like you're on the road, you're driving 100 kilometers per hour, the motor engine light comes on, and you reach in your glove box, take a piece of black tape and put it on there. So now you don't see the light anymore and you can continue. And the tape is then the painkiller.
Yes, indeed.
So nobody would do that with his car, because he knows, if I continue driving, at some point the engine will blow up and I have a bigger problem. But with our body, we take painkillers, we don't feel the pain anymore. We think, oh, it's gone, I'm fine. But it's not, because it's just breaking the signals from the brain to wherever the pain is. And you continue to hurt your body without knowing it, because the pain is gone.
Yeah,
it's okay in some situations, like if you're on a weekend or on a trip and a couple days, it's okay to get over that period. But there are so many people that have painkillers like 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening for weeks and months and years, and that's not good at all.
No, it's true. I think
you're just masking the problem instead of working on the root cause.
Yes,
and that's what we do with the Liebscher-Bracht pain therapy. We take out the roots and treat you, or give you the tools to treat yourself and help yourself to be pain-free.
Well said. And it's a pharmaceutical age we live in, of course. We know that. And we do accept, I think, don't we, probably more pain than we should or could in aging. And there's a lot we can do that we don't. And we seem to have rather a low bar and expectation for aging, that we would just become old and decrepit. And
well, about aging, people don't want to get old because the image they have of get old is sitting in a home, in an elderly home, and not allowed to do anything, and need somebody for the basic things in life, like using the bathroom or having a shower. And that's something people don't like. But I mean, what's wrong with being 130 and still going out on your field and work your land and cook for yourself and do everything you ever done and just be happy and healthy?
Well, I don't know about 130, but it's certainly cultural, isn't it? Cultural expectations, like, in the positive sense. We were in San Martino de Porto Bay yesterday. The cultural expectation of Portuguese partying is 9 days of music, a load of food concessions, setting up all the stalls, setting up the stages, the music.
We talked yesterday.
The expectation is set by the society, isn't it, and the culture. So you kind of just have to do that, and everyone gets involved. The bomberos are helping set up, and that's a context for creativity and a bar that is set. And I think that's on the positive side. On the negative side, it's like, oh yeah, you don't want to get old because age never comes alone, and all the things you talked about. But there are other cultures where people live much longer and stay fitter in old age, right? It needn't be this way that we have it in the West so much.
Yeah.
It's
the way we live and use our body in a big line.
Yes, indeed. So you're going to show us a little bit of practical before you go this morning, a little bit of using the body. We have talked about mouse use and thumbs and wrists and so on. Have you got a little bit of an exercise to show us?
Yes. Well, you share the link of the English YouTube channel?
I did. I'll do it again now.
There are many great videos on them, and I need to see if yes. So one thing with the cell phone use and the thumb and everything, what you can do is, because again you shorten the muscles from the thumb with these movements instead of using the whole range of movement you have.
Yes.
One exercise, stretch your arm.
Everybody, do this at home. We can tell if you're doing it or not.
Let's see if I can do it like this. And grab your thumb like this with your ring finger and little finger.
Are we coming in underneath? Yeah.
Yes. And have your arm that you want to stretch the thumb straight.
Yeah.
And then pull your thumb towards you. Be gentle, because this you should hold for 2 minutes.
Really?
So if you can't hold it for 2 minutes, then release it a little bit, but not totally. And you should feel after about 30-40 seconds that your muscle in your thumb starts to melt, and either if you keep the position, the stretching pain gets less.
Yeah.
Or if you keep the level of pain, you can move your thumb more towards you a little bit.
Wow. I can definitely feel something. There's a bit of a burn there, and that's normal. There should be a little bit of a burn on that stretch.
Yes, you should feel like a stretching pain in relative words, but it shouldn't be an uncomfortable pain. It should be easy enough. You still can smile. You still can breathe normally. Actually, if you go across that line that it's not comfortable anymore, your body starts to work against that stretch.
Yes.
So the effect will be much less than when you do it the right way.
Yeah.
And by this, you already stretching your thumb, especially the muscles that already gets used by your cell phone habit.
Yeah.
And yes, I think we are now at around 2 minutes, so you can release a little bit.
Who doesn't like a release after 2 minutes in the morning. Yes, I can. Yes, I can feel that.
Yes. So that was one side. Now we do the other side.
Oh my goodness.
Use your thumb, put
Yeah.
it inside your hand,
Yeah.
close your fist, bend it, rotate it outwards.
Oh, outwards.
And with the other hand, and
Look at his
pull it
mobility. Oh my goodness, your mobility is incredible, Matty. We see how far he can twist his hand there.
and then just pull it towards you again, and keep your fist closed so that your thumb will be stretched. And again, a nice, a comfortable pain, and hold it for 2 minutes.
This is much harder. This one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is the in the air free version. It's also a version I'll show you. You can do on a table.
Yeah.
Like so. You can point this towards you.
Yeah.
And then move your stretched arm in this direction. So you stretch here your tendons.
Yes. And again, you're opening up an area that probably in the modern way of life, computer-based, office-based,
Yes, all the typing sits in here.
You're not going to get a lot of a stretch in this direction, are you? In the lives we live. No, very good.
And after a minute or so, you can even go further back and stretch your fingers as well.
And stretching, Matty, stretching is quite addictive, isn't it? Once you get into the routines, and is that because endorphins are released and something pleasurable happens with stretching?
Yes, it's. I wouldn't say it's endorphins like from running. And when you're done with the stretching, move a little bit around so everything can settle back.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can do it, of course, on the other side. I have, let's see, I give you 2 more links to YouTube.
Yeah. We got a little bit of feedback coming in. I do the exercises I learned from my physical therapist every morning, and I rarely take painkillers. Well done, Moaz. Yeah, because you get a residue with those sorts of things, don't you? But obviously, aren't we lucky to have painkillers as well when needed? The difference between poison and medicine is the quantity. Miguel, good morning to you. Great to see you. And Rebel Mama's in. Morning, Rebel Mama. I need Matty for a stupid old problem that was gone and is coming back because, I'm lazy and forgot the exercises. There you go. It happens, doesn't it?
Yes,
and
that's a typical thing, because our life might have not changed, but with the exercises, the pain was gone. And since we didn't change our life, like stop working or move to Portugal or whatever, so the movement or the lack of movement that caused the pain is still there. Yeah. And then it comes back at some point.
Okay. Matty's crutch is too much information. Dr. Nat is working the room. Anything else?
Sure I'm pretty sure it's Prof.
Yeah, we think so, don't we? We've got to the bottom of it, so to speak. Doing my dumbbell, all standing and high intensity intermittent training workout right now. Look at everybody here. Ooh, that feels great, says Rebel Mama as well. Isn't that great? My mattress is my most important piece of furniture for me. I must be doing it wrong. It's very easy.
No, it's not difficult. It's not difficult.
Okay, warning. Dr. Nat is sneaking in dad jokes now. Beware. Thank you for the heads up there. Deagle, I know some orthopedic doctors now specializing in hands, as they're going to be tomorrow's knee and hip problems. That's a good insight, isn't it? We are using our hands in ways we've never before, and so much, as well as so much focus on the IT, isn't there, and the keyboards and the mice and the mobile phones. Very good. Do you have to wear tights whites when exercise? That's optional, isn't it?
You can wear whatever you want or nothing at all.
Good answer.
Just be aware that your surroundings accept the way you are.
Exactly. Matty is a match for all of you cynics lobbing in your comments, trying to destabilize him. He's a martial artist. I see what you're doing here, Matty. You know, it's Wing Chun humor, isn't it? The comments are coming in and you're just moving them You're using the force of the joke against itself. Very, very good. That hasn't gone unnoticed here. We do have other comments, and so many this morning. Matty is so welcoming. No, Dr. Nats. Or the painkiller is snipping the wire to the engine warning light as well. That's to extend on the metaphor that you were using earlier.
Yeah, the black tape is more graphic, I think.
Yep, we live in a house built by one of them. Everything is so short I can reach the ceiling. That's exercise or not? I don't know. I'm not sure. I must have missed something there. There was another thing I missed, and when we were looking at the dogs there, I think Moaz said that German Shepherds are his favourite breeds. What are the breeds of your dogs there, Matty?
Well, the first one is indeed a German Shepherd. She's 10 years old this month, and the other one is a mix I got from a dog shelter. He was just a year, or not even, and he's a mix of a Rottweiler and a German Shepherd.
Rotty and German Shepherd there. The videos for the exercises that Matty demonstrated for us are now in the comments. And I think that physical health starts with a decent mattress and a good night's sleep. It's true, isn't it? Rest is very important as well as activity. And we probably don't do enough of that, do we, Matty?
Yes. I mean, I didn't sleep enough last night. So
no, indeed. Stretching and practicing balance are great for aging bodies and minds. So the Tai Chi, the Pilates, the yoga, also good because it's gentle, isn't it?
Everything you do outside of your standard routines is good because you train your muscle or your body to use muscles he standardly doesn't use.
Yeah.
So and all those things, Tai Chi, yoga, Pilates, whatever, aerobics from the 70s or whatever it is you do, Zumba. It's all good because you do something additional to your routines of work and walk or whatever you do.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, but do it moderately and don't go 120%.
Well,
because that could backfire.
Slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? Hola, everyone. 2 a.m. in New Mexico. Aviva, the desert dweller, is here. Love the fitness info. I'm dedicated to it. And yoga. Nice one, Aviva. While you're here, somebody emailed me and asked to be put in touch with you. Somebody who I think is trustworthy, by the way. I'll be back in touch with you about that. But somebody who liked the sound of you when they saw you on the screen here, Aviva. So if I may facilitate that connection, I would love to do that. Erotic knowledge, quickly. When he saw the surprise and disappointment on her face, he reassured her that when little, she merely had to twist the pickle. Twisting the pickle, such a wonderful Portuguese turn of phrase. Matty, it's been a pleasure to talk to you this morning. Thank you for being on the screen, talking to us about your journey to Portugal, sharing with us some practical flexibility and remedial therapy tips there. Anything else you want to share with us before you go? I've got one more question, a cultural question.
Yes.
What somebody said yesterday, why do Portuguese people drink bottled water? And it is a huge industry here, isn't it? You go to the supermarket. I think Europe, southern Europe generally, you'll always find a lot of bottled water in the supermarkets. The tap water is of perfectly good quality by most people's standards. Why do you think Portuguese people drink so much bottled water? Is it for the medicinal properties?
I wouldn't know. I have for decades now. I have a Brita filter that I used even in Amsterdam to filter the tap water. And maybe it has to do with old piping or something that they think something's not good in the water.
Yeah.
But maybe the prof or one of our Portuguese members can explain that. And yes, I heard the question when they asked why do people like carriages full of bottled water buy in let's say Lidl or other supermarkets. I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave that in the chat there for anybody who might like to take it. Oh, look at that. Take a look at that question or answer that question. Matty, if people want to talk to you specifically about getting engaged in some of this therapy one-to-one, how do they reach out to you?
Well, I have. You can share my email address or my Where is
Pop
it?
that in the chat for me then. I'll go to a couple of other comments. Bon dia from the beautiful Barada. Andy, we'll go to many of your wonderful events before the show's out today. 20 minutes to go on the Good Morning Portugal show here from expatsportugal.com. Bon dia, what does alegria mean? It means joy, and it rhymes nicely with bon dia, doesn't it? Bon dia, alegria. Or as Boris Johnson might try and say it. Where you gone, Boris? Hiding in the fridge again? No.
Bom dia. Alegria. Alegria. Yeah.
At the end there. So yes, alegria means joy, and we have an email address from Matty and a phone number. So stand by, Matty, after the show. You walking the dogs when we're done here?
No, I did that before the show, and now they use the garden mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
Chasing away cats and passing dogs that are not on a leash and where no owner is in sight. They just walk around.
Yes.
And Simba, he can get pretty vocal in telling them off.
Well, he's been very good so far. Absolutely. Oh, Hank's in with just 12 days, 14 hours, 34 minutes, and 21 seconds to go. He's got 21 seconds to go. Okay, Hank, great to see you this morning. Matty, great to see you too. See you again soon. Meet up. Oh, Sunday. See you at the barbecue on Sunday. But
I hope I get the location in time.
And meet and eat the leftovers quicker next time. I will see you soon, my friend. And thank you so
Have
much.
a good day.
Ciao, ciao. Adios. Hello, ciao, ciao. There he goes, Matty, live from Pombal. Great to talk to Matty this morning. Get all the background on his many trips, his many moves to Portugal, and I'm sure he'll be established soon. And I've got a feeling he might stick around that central Portugal area. I think he wants to do a bit of growing as well of the food, ideally placed over that part. So there across, heading into the interior, maybe Castelo Branco, where all those other wonderful YouTubers are that he mentioned earlier on. Thank you for your answers on the bottled water front here to the person asking for a friend, literally. Somebody said that at the meetup yesterday. Why do people in Portugal buy bottled water when the tap water is perfectly good enough by most standards? Let's see what you're saying. Oh, we'll get to the water. And some of Dr. Nat's many comments this morning, and in just a moment we'll do the Portuguese history, which has come through Dr. Nat this morning, which is a bit of a clue. Not a nice memory to share with you, and neither is the news about Dame Paula Rego passing on from this world as well, but we'll say a little bit about her as well. I'm going to play you the second video from Andy Klein this morning. I sleep in a hammock, which is very well hung, as we would expect from you, Dr. Nat. From Simon, second that, Andy, on when it comes to having a good night's rest. Change to an orthopedic memory foam mattress. Memory foam. You can't help but giggle I can't when I talk about memory foam mattresses, and all those memories in there. It's not easy being a memory foam mattress, I don't suppose. From a spring one, and back problems were alleviated. That sounds good, doesn't it? Physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, it's all connected. Yes, James, was it on Monday when we said after the luggage comes the baggage, or was that with Jenny last week? And Desert Dweller Aviva, please tell me how I might connect with that person. I'll sort that out, Aviva. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're still up. Thank you very much. Joao F, hello everyone. Just sneaked in to see what you're all up to, and maybe answering the question about bottled water as well. I heard that there was some law that restaurants can't serve tap water, maybe for older pipes. The tap water is great. Probably you would say that, wouldn't you, as an engineer with a great love of Victorian plumbing. The tap water is great. Probably they used to have bad quality water. A lot of Portuguese people as well as buying it bottled, they get it from the font, don't they? The tap as well. Drive up in the car with all those used and empty bottles, fill up the 5 litres, stick them back in the car, and off they go once a week maybe. We just had our apartment building replumbed. Oh, so Andy's had his plumbing attended to recently. Who doesn't like to have their plumbing attended to recently in the morning? We have lots of natural springs that give fantastic water, says Andy. You do, don't you, at the Barada? This is definitely an area where people pull up in the car and fill up all their empties. I was told, yeah, there you go. So I thought it might be something to do with not all water is equal, is it? Water, if we get into the subtlety of water, tap water is perhaps I suppose the pharmaceutical equivalent, and the natural springs and the fonts and the different sources of water that come in bottled form are the other part of the spectrum, aren't they? Interesting subject. We might talk to an expert about that one day, because I'm not doing terribly well on it. I would have loved retiring in Amsterdam, but my old bones can't handle those long, cold winters. It's going to be Portugal for you then, Moaz, I think. Is that everything on the bottled water? It may well be. Let's do a bit of Portuguese history, shall we? Where's it gone? I can play the tune, and we'll see if we can find the the history itself whilst this is playing. Down. So lovely last note there on the. Oh, what are you doing here, Mandela? Get off the screen, sir. Today in Portuguese history, didn't want to be left out. Heard about the other two dogs. And Magnus this morning, Jimmy Choo coming to the studio, Mandela making an appearance there. Gilda's dog, of course. Training for the Portuguese Olympic swimming team. You might have seen the video. Today in Portuguese history, 1908, Zé Trinidad Coelho commits suicide. Portuguese writer, best known for his regional short stories. Now, they would be good, wouldn't they? For I'm sure they're immortalized and available to, and you can practice your Portuguese, of course, can't you? And there may be translations if he is a legendary Portuguese writer. Sorry, I've not heard of him before, but you have piqued my interest there, Dr. Nat, Portuguese writer, best known for the regional short stories, most of which are set in remote, rural, northern Portugal. That sounds worthy of further investigation. If anyone is looking that up and is finding the originals or translations, do please let us know. Further messages from Dr. Nat then. Dr. Nat Schamberger, we'd love to meet you at, what does it say across your picture there? Kamstim. The guru, self-help Singh, in his infinite laziness, asked me to lay some history on your, I believe, the London taxi driver he sent didn't work out. No, it didn't work out, but love to you and a love to the family, Colin the cabbie from Dartford. Goodness only knows what the prof's representation will be tomorrow on Portugal Day when we're joined by Philomena. Yeah, keep those comments coming. I'll get back to those, but I want to share with you now. Bottled water has different chemical and biological properties. Of course it does, and maybe that's why. Well, I like Monchique water. It is one of Portugal's few alkaline, if not the only alkaline water. They are not created equal, or they do not come out of the ground equal. It's not really created, is it? It's a natural resource, which if you've seen The Big Short, you might want to invest in. I'm not sure if they use chlorine in Portugal to purify the tap water, but that's why I use a filter, says James. Bottled water has been found to contain many more contaminants and bacteria than tap water. Well, of course, if you put chlorine in it, that's going to happen, isn't it? But then you got to drink the chlorine instead, or whatever else they put in there to get all the bacteria out. And again, not all bacteria are created equal. Should we go into germ theory now? Should we go into a susceptible host and terrain theory and germ theory? No, maybe we shouldn't. Dr. Nat Schamberger III, I once had to do an emergency toe amputation. I can't believe hold on a minute. He's been working his way towards this all morning. You can just tell, can't you? But it warrants this. Probably this. Need that on a Monday night. No, this one is the one I meant to play.
Warning. Warning.
Oh no!
And yeah, you might want to sit down for this, quite honestly. Where's it gone? Dr. Nat, of your 5,000 comments this morning, here it is. I once had to do an emergency toe amputation and could only replace it with a breath mint. Now my patient has a tic-tac-toe. Oh, okay. Let's now go to the news that Paula Rego has passed away. And I'm laughing because I can see Matty responding to that joke in the green room there. So let me share from the Portugal resident the news about Paula Rego. She is, of course, a legendary Portuguese artist with a British connection. And I'll tell you about her and a little. I'm sure there's some references to her. What should we call spicy life? She was a spicy character and has died at the age of 87. So a great artistic innings and lots of wonderful legacy in her artwork. I'm now frozen up for the moment, but no, here we're back. We're back again now. I'm bringing onto the screen. Oh, what are the adverts that Google are trying to serve me up now? Is it dating, or is it pile cream, or a Stana lift? I don't even know what that is. Let me just check that I haven't got erectile dysfunction advertising. It's my age, you know. I promise you I haven't been looking that up. It just assumes that I might need it, does Google. Thank you, Google. Celebrated painter died peacefully at home after a short illness. Iconic Portuguese-British visual artist Dame Paula Rego has died aged 87. Contemporary art gallery Victoria Miro announced the news over Twitter, writing, "It is with immense sadness that we announce the death of the Portuguese-born British artist." Portuguese-born British artist. Okay, so that's how she's known. Dame Paula Rego at the age of 87. She died peacefully this morning after a short illness at home in North London, surrounded by her family. Our heartfelt thoughts are with them, and we second that here. Dame Paula was best known for her paintings based on folktale storybooks, writes The Independent over there in the UK. Over the years, her style evolved from abstract to representational, but her works continued to reflect feminism. She studied at the Slade School of Fine Art, University College London, and her many feats included becoming an exhibiting member of the London group, along with fellow artists David Hockney and Frank Auerbach. Dame Paula also became the first artist in residence at London's National Gallery. Wow, prestigious and legendary. In spite of living outside Portugal for so many years, Paula Rego has never lost her connection with this country, having a museum entirely dedicated to her work in Cascais, which we might mention tonight, of course, talking about Cascais this evening with Wiley. President Marcelo has already lamented her passing, acknowledging that she's been a very important artist for the world for decades. He told reporters Dame Paula's death is thus a national and international loss for both Portugal and the United Kingdom. Portugal's head of state said he will be talking with the Prime Minister to decide the best way to pay homage. Prime Minister of Portugal or Prime Minister of UK? I imagine Prime Minister of UK will want to have a party to a creative force. Yes, the best way to pay homage to a creative force who will always be one of the most celebrated Portuguese artists. There you go. The passing of Dame Paula Rego, who has died at the age of 87. Worth looking at her work up online if you've never heard of her. And another legend, Portuguese cultural legend, Camões, not Pessoa. Although, why not both on Feel Good Friday tomorrow with Philomena. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I imagine there'll be a song involved. So come in fine voice. Sing like no one's listening. And if you've ever tuned in before when I sing with Philomena, that's what I always do. Anyway, so rest in peace, Paula Rego. And we have another video to play for you as we go out this morning. But we do want to cover all your comments in the chat there. I'm sure Dr. Nat's got a few more things to say. We've enjoyed your company, dude, this morning. And we also want to share with you now the events page. Good call, Andy, who has been prolifically posting and also suggested that we might share towards the end of the week some of the events that are happening in Portugal over the weekend. And this weekend, in my manor, on my turf here, we have the San Martino's Festival of Sant'Antonio starting. 9 nights of music, or certainly of festivities and entertainment in the evening. Nelson was telling me yesterday that pretty much during the day, it's business as usual in the town. But come darkness, it's like a thriller video. No, when night falls, it's party time here in San Martino de Porto. So come and have some fun. Not too late to join us for the events that are kicking off here, or the entertainment that's kicking off here from Sunday. From tomorrow. Starts tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, then I guess the 10th of June. Wow. Okay, that came up quickly. I think you might have missed. Oh no, Party in the Park that stretches from June the 4th to July the 12th. Festa de Irish, and that's not one of Andy's by the look of it. Jardim Municipal de Irish. Isn't that down south? Not too much information there, but thank you to whoever posted that. You can see all of these in the events section, which I'm going to show you now on the screen. There, Festa de Vagos, up there in the Aveiro district. Cadima Festa, Olhos de Favença. Look, you can go up to the Bairrada region, try their fairs, Suckling Pig, if that's your thing, an amazing part of the country, overlooked in my view, but not by Andy, who shares all of these wonderful events with us. Tapas, the Tapas and the Papas. That's a great name for a restaurant, if not an event that starts today and continues tomorrow until the 12th in Cantanhede. Cantanhede worth a look as well. If you've not been there, they have a massive agricultural festival there every year. The Sardine Festival, Figueira da Foz, there as well. That's a lovely poster, isn't it? A lot of these posters would be lovely to frame and have around the house as well. Figueira da Foz, Festa da Sardinha. It's Sardinia time, Sardinia season here in Portugal, of course. Irish there. Help me out. Where is that? And maybe when you're posting these, anyone, if you want to put in brackets the region, that'd be really helpful, as Andy's done here. The Barra Beach, Sardinia. I'm sure that's a Sardinia festival as well. Aveiro Sardine Party. Sardine Party! Yay! Another nice, jolly poster there. Aveiro and the Barra Beach there, which is always really very nice to visit at any time of the year. Paramotoring event at Liga Nacional Paramotor Present. Look at that. That looks like fun. A little bit different to the ones I see. They're paragliders rather than paramotors that you can see this weekend in the romantic Arraial Beach next to the Aveiro Lagoon. Walk of the Fonche. Hey, I'm the Fonche. Lunch in the park at Palhaça, staying in the Bairrada region. Sado Summer Festival, which it's not a summer festival for Sados. It's different. Translated from the announcement, from the camera, concerts, gastronomy, motorcycle exhibition. I think it's motorcycle themed, with music, of course, dance and sports demos. Part of the Sado Summer Fest program of a rock music festival there. There you go. As you can probably tell. From the poster there. And Sant Antonio time, of course, as well at the moment, this weekend, 10th, 11th, 12th, the local festa in the bosom of the Bairrada. Bit of Bairrada bosom action for you there. And historic narrow gauge train ride. This looks good as well. So many things to do. This starts this weekend, but it runs until the 15th of October. So 15 October, you're okay. For €35, you can ride the narrow gauge line. That will be wonderful. That part of the country as well is beautiful. The Vuga train ride, the Vuga part of the country, Aveiro there. Beautiful. Nice poster too. And jazz, nice. Cantanhede, taking us to Cantanhede and taking us into late. We're still only on June. I thought this was taking us deep into next year. The amount of events that we've got here in Portugal. 3 free guided walks in Cantanhede. Isn't this amazing? And just finally, for now, then another Sant Antonio Festa, a Sant Antonio time of year, the Cavoish Festa. And that is Coimbra district there. So coming a bit further south into Coimbra. Andy, you absolute legend. Anadia Snail Festival as well. Caracol, 17th to the 19th of June. What a time to be in Portugal. Marchas Populares. Of course, Filomena has talked to us about Marchas Populares, which will be celebrated all over the country. And a walk, run, Zumba and step in aid of Agada Animal Shelter. This is amazing, Andy. Thank you so much. Agada, Gafania de Nazaré, things happening all over the place. No one need be lacking any festive festivity this time of year in Portugal. 2 years of various lockdowns and restrictions. People in Portugal ready to party. Look, a beach casting fishing competition and a Leitão lunch. That's an interesting combo. The Cantanhede Expo, the one I mentioned before, the Vagos Metal Fest, the Goish Motorbike Show in Central Portugal, Nature Trail, Olivia de Barra. This is amazing. And of course, the legendary Blessing of the Helmets. Put that in your diaries for September the 18th. And a bird exposition as well in October, one a little bit with a longer timeline on it there in Oliveira de Bairro. That just about does it for the events. We've got one more video to share with you. That's amazing. You legend, Andy. A few more comments and we'll go out with Andy's video this morning. Thank you to Matty. Thanks to everybody. Thank you to Nat Schamberger as well. Yeah, lots of natural springs, not strings, that give fantastic water. Was told to use different ones to get different vitamins and minerals. And yes, an appeal to different parts of the body. and the metabolism and the constitution. We're doing the time-honored, what's this, Hank? The time-honored purging and selling and getting our condoms on the market. Nice one, Hank. I once had to do an emergency. Oh no, we've done that. Let's not do that again. That chlorine, bottled water, different chemical properties. Where did we get to? Thank you. What an absolute abundance of comments this morning. You're good to me. As Carl wished us all a good morning in an American accent. What I do, her breath quickened as Carl wished us all. What's my American accent like? Honestly, you can give me some constructive feedback on it. Her chest heaved, and then my feet started stomping. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to go, Hank. The GMP show, you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Burr, 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 burr. We must be cautious. We must indeed. Lol. What? No, I did that on purpose. I don't know who else noticed that, Hank, but you clearly did. Did you just wake up, Hank? I think I did. Connie's poking him in the arm as well. What did you just tell Carl? Don't worry, Connie, he can explain. All right, folks, let's go out with that video, and I'll pop up any other comments that come in as we say goodbye this morning. See you on the webinar, maybe. Find out more about buying and renting in Qashqai with Wiley tonight. Premium Plus, folks, see you on the 9 o'clock call. If not on either of those, see you in the morning with Philomena for some Feel Good Friday fun on Dia de Portugal Day. Here's Andy one more time. Do subscribe to his wonderful YouTube channel, Our Expat Journey.
Let's revisit something I hoped I made clear in the introduction to this series. I'm telling a story about our expat journey. I'm not in the advice business. I'm in the nonfiction video business. If there's anything to learn here, it's most likely what not to do. So I'm speaking to you from Porto, about halfway through our scouting trip. It got off to a tough start. My wife, Lola, missed our flight out of Springfield, Missouri, because of a COVID-related snafu, proving to the airlines that, yes indeed, she was okay to fly. Long story short, she arrived in Coimbra a day late. It turned out to be the best thing that could have happened. I don't know the right way to scout for a new home in a country I hope to call home someday, but this makes sense to me. It's not about finding the actual home. That's a technical process. And for many, moving to Portugal on a D7 visa, it's a remote process. Home for me is the neighborhood, and really, home is anywhere my wife is, so the world is my oyster. Scouting for me means walking the streets, drinking coffee in the cafes, and beer in the pubs. It means being out in the world and walking around while constantly asking myself, does this feel like a place to call home? Do these people I see living their lives seem like people I want to call neighbors? And that actually began weeks before the trip on Google Maps using the Street View feature. That's how we narrowed our search to 3 neighborhoods in Coimbra, 1 in Aveiro, all of Espinho, because it's fairly compact, 2 in Gaia, 2 in Porto, and 2 in Matosinhos. By the way, I'm trying to pronounce these names right. I'm not at all sure I'm succeeding. Our plan had been to split up, explore neighborhoods independently, and then compare notes over a bottle of Portuguese wine in the evenings. We changed plans on the fly because Lola arrived late. We scouted together instead, Norton de Matos and Valle das Flores on what would have been day 2, and Santa Clara across the river from Coimbra on what would have been day 3. We loved Norton de Matos and Valle das Flores. Santa Clara, not so much. Lola said to me at the end of our walk through Santa Clara, hilly slog is more accurate, that she would have been in despair had she scouted there by herself on the first day as originally planned. I would have been high on Norton de Matos. She would have been tired and disappointed, having discovered a place that just didn't fit our needs. We would have been talking right past each other. But thanks to that expensive snafu, we changed our plans and it worked out for the best. We're sticking to it. We are from Missouri. We are flatlanders. Flat land is a value we discovered on that climb to the top of Santa Clara, only to discover a place that didn't fit our values. Coimbra isn't a flat town, but the neighborhoods of Norton de Matos and Valle das Flores are. And there's a way to avoid the big hill the university sits on to get from those places to the central business district and to the wonderful city market. That's good information you only get walking around. Thanks for the view. Please check the description for filming details and other stuff that may interest you. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Helping this documentary series to grow helps keep me busy. Lola says thanks for that.